Hello again, and my first job is to apologise for the fact that I am not at T-Bay with Gordon Birtwistle, as publicised. Gordon his work was much cheaper than expected this morning, and it took them longer to drill it out. And I have to be in Whitehaven to film with ITV News at 4:30, so we just ended up working out that he'd arrived just about had to leave, so that one had to go. Gordon is out leafleting in Burnley, working hard there. So I'll just explain the reason why I wanted Gordon to come. He is a person who's particularly inspired me. He came as our speaker at our annual dinner a few years ago. And he inspired me for two reasons. First, he is just a great guy. He was the MP in the coalition government with responsibility for apprenticeships on the grounds that he was the only MP who had not gone to university but had done an apprenticeship instead. I wonder if there are any now. I hope there are, but it was him. And he did an awful lot of good work on apprenticeships in Vince Cable's Department for Business, which of course the Tories then came and took the credit for, as they are, as the other parties do, which we generally don't mind, but it is wearing a bit thin now. The Tories can't actually write any policy of their own. They seem to have forgotten how to develop policy by consulting it and scrutinising it, rather than just ram something out from the press office that they think will get the most votes. A few weeks ago, Theresa May was just holding forth about the wonders of their policies on mental health, which were coalition government policies that we developed and implemented, and it was all she could find to talk about that seemed vaguely credible. So where are we? It's Tuesday, the weather here is bad. I'm at HQ, but there is nobody else here, and there are not that many leaflets left. I'm just stunned. Everyone else is out delivering, and they've left me in on the grounds I'm going to get wet later in the rain doing the news. And if they get ill, which quite a few of them have, then they can take a day off. And at this stage, I actually can't. So it's probably best to protect me, which is really kind of them. But some of our members are really poorly. Yeah, and we had the really, really tragic news that we lost a member who'd been here working at HQ very suddenly from a heart attack. Overnight, lost last night, but the night before. Difficult one here. Back to Gordon Birtwistle. He was really brilliant on apprenticeships, but he also taught us about the realities of campaigning. The realities of campaigning are that you get this momentum going and you get told loads and loads of things are going to happen, and then things go wrong and resources get withdrawn, or they go to Stoke, which is a problem for all the parties here in Copeland, as ours was called first, and we were promised all sorts, and then Stoke happened. And you're left without the resources you expected to have, and you just have to pick yourself up and carry on anyway. And Gordon did that in 2010. His seat was not a target seat, and he didn't have the resources to fight it properly, and he just got on there and did it anyway, and took his soapbox out and stood outside the supermarket all the time just talking to anyone, and he got himself elected, and his stories are great. So hello, please share the video. I'll stay around for a while if anyone has got any questions for me. I'll try and think up a bit more about the gossip and what's going on here. Please share the video, like the page, rebeccahanson.org.uk, please donate. Most of all, if you're in Copeland, please come out and vote on Thursday. The weather forecast is dire, absolutely awful. Wondering what effect that's going to have on turnout. Winds up to 80 miles an hour, torrential rain. If you think you might have a vulnerable or elderly neighbour or someone who's going to struggle to get to the polls who might vote for me, please go and find them and make sure they get safely to the polls and back. And if you think that they're a die-hard Tory who's read nothing but the Telegraph since John Major, leave them at home. What else? it's quiet time here. The press are just beginning to descend. I've got 2 press later this afternoon, and then they'll all be arriving tomorrow and then staying through. There is going to be a results programme through the night, I've been told. With Stoke expected about 2, us about 4, but it may be delayed with the bad weather here affects getting those boxes in. And it might affect getting some of the workers in. It does sound really quite bad. Hopefully for a better day tomorrow. Let everyone recover a bit first before we gear up for this. Oh, what else? No one got any questions for me today? Happy to take any questions live. In the Whitehaven News, on their website, they sent us all key questions and asked us to write 250-word answers. And the first one was published today on the NHS issues we've got here. And they really are starting to expose the fact that I understand all these issues in depth, understand precisely what needs to be done, which bit of government policy needs to change and so on. And the other candidates don't. Please read and compare the answers and you should be able to see that. They're very shallow answers. They spout their own ideology, their own party policy, but they don't really understand what's going on here, which is what I've talked about so often with the Tory candidate, in that she's holding forth about this fantastic review of recruitment that she's going to get, review of what's going on with the success regime. It's like, yeah, we already know precisely what's going on. If only you would bother to ask us, we'll happily tell you. I've already met with the regulator and told them they're the key people who need to know. If you're going to make fabulous policy announcements, it would be a really good idea if you found out what the heck was going on already. Everybody across all parties works together on issues like this. We don't hold back. We don't hold back information from each other. If you want to know, you just have to ask. Happily tell you. Just get the sense that sometimes you're not capable of actually taking it in. Comments like, woo, over me head. Don't give me that kind of reassurance. And yeah, don't get the sense. I've never got the sense that any of the other candidates know what's going on at Whitehaven Academy, and they should. They really should. It's so easily fixable by this government. It could be fixed immediately if the Tory party decided to try and release that school from the hell that it's in. Yeah. I mean, some things the government can't fix very easily because they're just complicated. Whitehaven Academy, bang, it's done. Remove the sponsor. Tory government decided to keep all the power in their own hands, all of it. They can do it instantly if they choose to do it, but they're choosing not to do it. Sort it out. Just do it. It's long overdue. The sponsor has failed on every criteria known to man, again and again and again. Just collapsed. Exam results have gone down by about 10%. Schools plunged into special measures. None of the academy sponsors' promises were kept. You know, it's just been no IT for 3 years. Did they, Paula? Damn it. I am so sorry. I just heard it had been on today and I did wonder. Hi, Christine. I really gave the key people who were there the whole emotional thing on putting in that bit on Whitehaven Academy, and they were quite honest. They said they thought it would probably be cut because the editors would want Brexit. So by the end of that day, the Sky News people, they asked me about Brexit, and I said it was all about Whitehaven Academy because the Tory government was not listening and was screwing up stuff here in Copeland, right, left and centre, like Whitehaven Academy not removing the sponsor and the success regime consultation. So in Brexit, when David Cameron said, trust me, I know what I'm doing, don't vote for Brexit, everyone just went, stuff you. You clearly got no blooming idea what you're doing. Thanks so much for your help and your support, Paula. Fingers crossed, this time next week I will be in Westminster, facing the Tories right across the house and telling them as it is. And all that bit that I used to hate in politics where they were like shouting at each other and booing each other, I think I might be doing a bit of that and it might be quite cathartic. Oh, yeah, I hope so too. Fingers crossed, and thanks for your support and for your help. What's left? I have a good Facebook Live planned for tomorrow night. I will publicise it after this. I'm planning a Facebook Live tomorrow evening about 8 o'clock on the highs, the lows and the funny bits of the campaign, because there have certainly been all of those. Loads of highs, some real lows, one of which I mentioned earlier, and I don't know, on some of the hustings and the live debates.
Hello.
Hi Andy, I'm just doing a Facebook Live.
Good.
Go on in. And wet. He's been out delivering. How drenched are you? Come and show us.
We're not drenched. Just a little bit light
We're dry.
drizzle.
We've got hoods, so we're dry.
A bit light Cumbrian drizzle.
This is Michael, who's been designing all the leaflets.
Hello.
Hi. No more leaflets to design now, so he's over here delivering them.
I've got to deliver them, I know.
Aye.
It's the easy bit.
Welcome back here. He came early on and took some photos. Not much view of Skidder today. Right, I think those guys deserve a cup of tea, so I might go and make them one. Thanks for sharing the video. Please do keep sharing it onto all sorts of pages. Let's let people see it and let them know that I care, that I want to take their questions, and that tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, they can send me any last questions that they have. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.